cannot connect to other people if you don't deal with the health of your soul.
Right.
You have to find a way to get rid of the toxic emotions that destroy you, like bitterness and anger and jealousy, whatever they may be in your life. You're not going to live your life connecting to people at a deeply human level if you can't even connect to yourself. And it's one of the things I think for me is really freeing, is that I'm not free because I found perfection. And I'm not free because I even live up to all my ideals. I'm free because I don't expect myself to be perfect.
Interesting. Yeah.
And I've just learned to forgive myself for my inadequacy.
When did you get to that place? Like, how old were you, or what season of life?
Wow. I mean, I was in a psychiatric chair by the time I was 10 years old, in and out of a hospital for months. And I had not learned that then. And I think in high school, I was still trying to figure out how to create value so that I could be loved. And you try through sports and all these other different mechanisms.
School, sports,
right?
yeah.
I think I was in college, and I was a philosophy student. And I still, I was really struggling with, is there any meaning to life? And does my existence have any value? Do I matter? And for me, it was a part of a faith journey. And you know, everyone has to find, you know, their way to find meaning in life. But for me, it was unexpected. I was not on a faith journey, not consciously or even unconsciously, I don't think.
Yeah.
You know, I was just trying to make sense of my life and to find a reason to get up in the morning. And I struggled with depression. I struggled with self-loathing. And the idea that God existed and that he saw me and that I had infinite value was something that was really meaningful for me. I say to people, look, if God didn't exist, I would have to have created him just to survive.
Right.
you know, just to find a reason to wake up in the morning to go, my life actually matters. And in that was this whole concept of grace that I'd never understood. And it was, you're just absolutely accepted. And so you don't have to earn your worth. You just start from your worth, and then you just live.
Yes.
And it transformed me where, you know, I just believed it. I just accepted the fact that I had value, that I mattered, that I was completely loved. And then life was like a bonus game.
Wow.
I don't have to live my life to prove my worth. I don't have to live my life to earn being loved. I don't have to live my life to prove I have value and that I have a right to exist. I just accept it.
Yeah. And
then life just becomes this beautiful adventure.
Fun.
It just becomes fun. And sometimes I feel guilty. In fact, I posted a story today and someone was upset. Well, you know, because I was too happy. And they said, you're not being sensitive to all the unhappiness in the world.
Yeah, the suffering.
And I'm like, I just don't want to apologize that I wake up in the morning and I'm so excited about being alive.
It's so true. I mean, it doesn't mean there's not challenges or adversities that I face from time to time. Even before you were here today, I was going through some challenges with business stuff and some frustrations. But I wake up and I walk outside and I just put my arms up and I say, thank you, God, for this beautiful day and for everything you've given me. I'm so grateful and blessed. And I'm just like, man, it's like such a gift.
Yeah.
And I think about this stat that 150,000 people die every day in the world, but we're not one of them today.
Yeah.
Today, we're not one of them. And that alone is a gift. Like, that's a reason to find joy, even if things aren't going well. Even if you're going through a horrible breakup, even if you're not happy with the government, even if someone cheated on you, lied to you, stole from you, hurt you, abandoned you, abused you. What a gift to be alive.
Yeah.
You know, it's not enjoyable. I'm not saying I like stay in that space, but still, man, what a gift and opportunity. And should we feel guilty? Like you said, should you feel guilty to be grateful, like that things that we get at this day to be alive?
Yeah, I think it's an interesting tension. Everyone wants to have a common experience, but the only common experience we can have is misery.
Why is that?
Because we all experience pain. So that's the one thing we all have in common. But we need to elevate and go, yes, we all experience pain, but we can all experience joy. We can all experience fulfillment. It just takes more intention. Every negative emotion comes easily. Every positive emotion takes work.
If God created us to be good, why does every negative emotion come easily? And being good or experiencing joy takes work.
Because we think that God's intention is to make everything easy. and I don't think that that's even on God's agenda. Goodness should not be easy.
Why?
There's nothing in life that's worth anything that's easy. You're the face and voice of the school of greatness. Is there any aspect of greatness that comes easy?
Depends on someone's definition. You know, for some people's definition of greatness, it might be, you know, being alive and living a decent life, right? It's like just being here is greatness. It depends on someone's definition. But from my definition, I don't think there is. I think you've got to be willing to overcome yourself constantly. And that's hard work. You've got to be willing to make better decisions every day than the temptations that might seem easy.
You're getting married to the most amazing human being in the world, but the relationship isn't easy.
No, it takes intention, it takes effort, it takes focus.
There's nothing worth anything in life that is easy.
It took my whole life to be able to get to this point. You know, to get to a beautiful relationship, a whole life of sadness and suffering and effort and work, and healing and growth to get to a place where I feel peace. You know, it's like
you have to fight for peace.
Yeah.
Even peace. Despair is easy. Hope takes intention. Hate is easy. Love takes intention. War is easy. Peace takes intention. Every ideal expression of being human is hard. We have to fight for it. We have to long for it. And the best version of you doesn't come easy.
Yeah.
It's something you have to fight for.
In the last 40 plus years since you found this faith for yourself, where you started to find an ability to forgive yourself, not hate yourself, not look at yourself poorly, what has been the biggest challenge you've faced since finding love, forgiveness, and grace?
I think for me, my biggest challenge has been this need to live a life that other people think I should live. It's living a life of obligation rather than a life of intention. No matter how much you accomplish in life, there's someone who's always strangely unhappy with your life. Have you noticed that?
And typically someone who's close to you somehow, yeah.
And I've always wanted to please the people in my life. I wanted to earn their respect, to earn their love, and one of the things I had to just figure out in my life is you cannot live your life live a life of obligation. You can't live for other people. You can't live for their opinions. You can't live for their approval. You just have to know your own intention and live your life with that purpose and let the chips fall where they may.
Thank you for watching this video. If you want more inspiring clips like this, make sure to click right here to subscribe and click right here to watch that next video that is specific to support you in your life.